Get ready for the biggest shakeup in football. We start with the massive news that Pep Guardiola is quitting Manchester City at the end of the season following their FA Cup triumph at Wembley. This decision marks the end of an era, and we dive deep into what this means for the future of the Premier League and the incredible legacy Guardiola built during his decade at the Etihad Stadium. Why the club believes they are still set to beat rivals to the midfielder, and how this uncertainty impacts the entire squad's evolution. And finally, we look at the crucial final moments of the season. We break down the injury news and predicted lineup for Manchester City's crunch clash against Bournemouth, featuring Anton Semenyo and Erling Haaland. Will Guardiola manage his final games to secure the honors he craves, and what does this mean for the title race? Pep Guardiola is set to depart Manchester City at the conclusion of the current season, following the club's recent FA Cup victory at Wembley. The news of his exit is anticipated to be officially confirmed ahead of Manchester City's final Premier League match against Aston Villa. Guardiola's tenure at the Etihad has been marked by immense success, during which he secured 20 trophies, including 6 Premier League titles and the club's inaugural Champions League title, transforming the team into a dominant European force. This decision signals the end of an era for Manchester City and is expected to significantly reshape the Premier League landscape. From a Manchester United perspective, Guardiola's departure also closes a significant chapter in the intense managerial rivalry between the two clubs, particularly after a disappointing final Manchester derby. City's success, culminating in the Champions League win, is highlighted as a major achievement during a period of high turnover across the football world. With several major figures preparing to move on, including Casemiro from Manchester United and Mohamed Salah from Liverpool, Manchester City is expected to immediately commence the search for a long-term successor. Vincent Kompany and Enzo Maresca are already being heavily linked with the role of Guardiola's replacement. Further official confirmation from Manchester City is awaited. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola is reportedly preparing to step down from his managerial role at the end of the current season. The announcement is expected to be imminent, with plans reportedly in place for a replacement. The decision marks the conclusion of a 10-year tenure at the Etihad Stadium, following Sunday's season finale against Aston Villa. Sources indicate that Manchester City has begun informing sponsorship partners that a decision is forthcoming, suggesting this news has been an open secret among those close to Guardiola for some time. The report suggests the official announcement is scheduled for Sunday, timed to coincide with Guardiola's departure celebration during the club's open-top bus parade. Guardiola has consistently cited his current contract, which extends until the summer of 2027, as a factor in his decision, although it is believed he may conclude his tenure at the club a year ahead of schedule, potentially remaining in some capacity. Several names have been linked with the managerial position in recent weeks, including former Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca and Bayern Munich head coach Vincent Kompany. However, Maresca is widely considered the overwhelming favorite, having previously worked alongside Guardiola at Manchester City earlier in his career. Guardiola's time at Manchester City has been marked by significant success, including 6 Premier League titles since 2016, 4 of which were consecutive, and leading the club to its first-ever Champions League title. His trophy haul could potentially rise to 21 if City secures the Premier League title. Maresca was part of Guardiola's coaching staff from 2022 to 2023 before taking charge of Leicester City and subsequently moving to Chelsea. Further context suggests that Guardiola was reportedly holding discussions with City regarding a replacement at Stamford Bridge, with plans for him to win the Conference League and Club World Cup in 2025 before his eventual departure from Chelsea at the start of 2026. Manchester City is maintaining strong confidence in their pursuit of Nottingham Forest midfielder Elliot Anderson, despite growing uncertainty surrounding manager Pep Guardiola's future at the Etihad Stadium. Insiders suggest that while there is speculation about Guardiola's tenure beyond the current season, City believes they are in a solid position to secure the £100 million midfielder, who is also attracting interest from Manchester United. City insiders have expressed a long-standing belief that they will ultimately outmaneuver rivals to sign Anderson, with growing internal confidence that the England midfielder is destined for the club. Nottingham Forest is not actively pushing for a sale, but they are reportedly open to sanctioning a transfer at the right price as interest mounts ahead of the summer transfer window. The primary complication remains Guardiola's situation. Anticipation is high regarding a potential departure after this season, with expected announcements in the near future. Former coach Enzo Maresca is cited as a leading candidate to take over should that occur. Nevertheless, Anderson is currently viewed as the most likely target for City, irrespective of the manager in charge next season. The club has demonstrated its ability to attract top talent, evidenced by recent signings like Marc Guéhi and Antoine Semenyo, who were secured without guarantees regarding Guardiola's continuation. City sees Anderson as perfectly suited for the squad's next evolution, positioning him as a key figure for both the club and the national team ahead of the 2026 World Cup. The transfer saga is expected to intensify rapidly once the current campaign concludes and the summer market opens. Manchester City faces a crucial clash against Bournemouth as they battle for the Premier League title in the final stages of the season. Following their FA Cup triumph over Chelsea, secured by a decisive goal from Antoine Semenyo, the Citizens enter the match with momentum, aiming to solidify their title aspirations. With 2 domestic cups secured, the focus shifts to the league, and Pep Guardiola, potentially overseeing his final 2 games, is driven by the desire for major honors. The team is reported to be healthy, with Rodri making a comeback from injury, ensuring City is fit for the final week. However, tactical considerations remain. Guardiola has a dilemma regarding the centre-back position, with Joško Gvardiol available. Although Marc Guéhi and Abdulkadir Kusanov have been restored for the final, following a strong defensive partnership that has proven effective, despite Ruben Dias's recent injury status. The predicted starting lineup suggests a strong offensive focus. Gianluigi Donnarumma is expected to start in goal, while Matthias Nunes is slated for right-back, as he is considered a key option. Defensively, the backline features Abdulkadir Kusanov and Marc Guéhi. In midfield, Bernardo Silva is set to maintain his crucial role, while Rodri's return from injury could be a calculated risk. The attacking trio is potent. Antoine Semenyo is expected to inspire the team, Ryan Cherki is poised to dazzle, and Jeremy Doku is highlighted for his strong performances on the road. Erling Haaland remains the focal point, leveraging his reputation as a consistent road warrior, having contributed significantly on the journey to the title race.